Welcome to Cisco Tech Beat, the podcast that explores the people and stories behind what inspires the newest innovation. I'm your host, AB, and I have two fantastic guests today. Cisco's very own Chief Social Impact and Sustainability Officer, Mr. Brian Tippens, and a man who needs no introduction, a world-renowned chef, humanitarian, and the founder of World Central Kitchen, Chef José Andrés. Welcome, gentlemen.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I'm so happy you're here, and I know we have a limited time, so we're going to get right into this conversation. So, food is going to be the first topic, by the way. Big surprise.
I like it.
Food really transcends everything, whether it's politics or what have you. So, as a professional chef, how has your experience seen food really connect humans, whether it's a high-end restaurant or even a war-stricken zone?
Well, food is politics.
Okay.
And food is good politics. 90+% of Americans believe that every children in America should be fed. Actually, food is the right type of politics because in more ways than one, I think, brings people together. I see it when I go to emergencies in hurricanes. In the worst moments of America, the best of America shows up. It's not politics. It's not red and blue. It's not Republicans and Democrats. It's people helping people. People feeding people. People giving dignity to people. But food is really the thing we need to be concentrating the most, because when we talk about what moves humanity, it seems that right now, because wars and other things, we're talking about gas, we're talking about fuel. Well, the gas moves my car. The most important energy that feeds every human, the almost 9 billion people we're about to be, that's food. Food is the most important energy. That's why for me, when we talk about food, food needs to be at the very highest on how our governments are going to be trying to lead us, for one very simple reason. From the Thanksgiving dinner we do with our family,
Right.
all the way about how we're going to be fighting hunger around the world and climate change that is bringing down the quantity and production of crops.
Sure.
Food should be always an important conversation, to have great times with family and friends, but also to make sure that we are prepared to overcome the challenges that we're going to be facing in the decades ahead.
Perfect. Love that. Love that. Brian, so you're leading Cisco social impact initiatives, which are even more challenging in an AI-powered era, right? So how does Cisco ensure that the push for innovation in this AI era does not leave the vulnerable behind?
Yeah, I love the question, because certainly if employed the wrong way, AI and these new technologies can threaten to even widen divides even more than they are today. And so we're super conscious about our responsibility to leverage this momentum to bridge divides rather than widen them.
Right.
And so our approach is to invest people, our personnel, our technology, but also our financial resources to organizations, our World Central Kitchens, to help those partners leverage the technology, leverage the AI in a way that makes them or allows them to deepen their impact to be able to scale additionally. We were just talking, Chef and I, about some of the AI implementations that World Central Kitchen is embarking upon to do what they do, to do it faster, to do it less expensive with less resources. And so we see this great opportunity through AI to help our partners like WCK increase their efficiency and scale their work, but also to deploy technology in a way that's responsible and ethical and with an eye towards security. We know the nonprofit community and underrepresented communities around the world that they are serving are some of the most vulnerable in terms of cyber. And so bringing these resources to bear is around helping organizations be able to mobilize, but mobilize at greater scale and mobilize faster.
Got it. And speaking of World Central Kitchen, you are often the first people on the ground when disaster strikes. What does that scaling look like over the years as you've been doing this for so long? How has that scaled, and what are some of the biggest challenges? What are some of the challenges you face when trying to maintain that speed while you're still providing all these needs to people who are desperate?
Yeah, I mean, the scale will always be a line in reference to the needs, right? Sometimes we go to one island, 6,000 people, like Providence, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, Colombian. And that was a major event because the 6,000 people of Providence needed our help. And we were able to partner there with the military and the government. And we were able to do 8,000 meals a day very quickly. But this is 100% of the entire island. So it's a small in number, but it's major because it's the entire population of that location. So we will always try to scale to cover what we think are the real needs at the moment. How do we know the real needs? Boots on the ground. We can have all the data we want. But we need to be acquiring the data, not out in a convention center or in an office. We need to be acquiring the data right there in the ground zero of the emergency. Maybe a typhoon, maybe a volcano, maybe if you are not there, you don't really understand what the real needs are and what the infrastructure damage is that you need to be thinking how to overcome the challenges with only one thing in mind: how fast, how quick we can bring food and water, and in the process means dignity and hope to the people we're trying to help.
I love that. And that actually falls in line with a lot of the way Cisco thinks with proximity. You can't know anything that's going on with anybody if you're not proximate to the situation. So you have to be there. You have to experience it. You have to be on the ground, and then you can, solve problems, which is great.
Initial data is always very important in terms of mapping. If we understand in an earthquake what is the area has been damaged, help us better to know where we have to go to have eyes on the point. If we understand where the volcano is, lava, who is being affected, it helps. In a hurricane, what area of the eye of the hurricane has been having the most brutal winds. We know those and how quick it's been moving. So that early data is always also very important because allows you to go with boots on the ground to the right locations from the beginning.
Love that. Love that. And Brian, from a Cisco perspective, since we're involved in disaster relief and other motions, it's not just about funding, right? It's restoring infrastructure. Right? Like, what do we do with our technology that really gives us the ability to restore connectivity that acts as a catalyst for other humanitarian efforts?
Yeah, it's just as you mentioned. It's about money, certainly. We're able to leverage our Cisco Foundation and the resources of our team members who want to donate in times of crisis to provide dollars to World Central Kitchen as they're mobilizing in times of disaster. But beyond that, it's about our technology. We're a 40-year-old technology company.
That's right.
We connect everything securely. We've got a number of technology assets that uniquely position us to be able to mobilize along with partners like World Central Kitchen in times of crisis when connectivity is key, right? We know connectivity is required to carry out just about any work-related task today. Can you imagine being without your cell phone, without connectivity in normal times, let alone in times of crisis? And so when there's a natural disaster, be it wildfires in Maui or Southern California, or earthquakes in Morocco or typhoons in the Philippines, usually the cell towers are down, connectivity is down. And so we're able to mobilize alongside World Central Kitchen to bring Cisco technology to bear. And when I say Cisco technology, for those technologists in your audience, it's around bringing that Meraki gear to, we create these things we call MRKs, these mobile response kits, these mesh response kit. There's a large version, a small version. It's the size of a big suitcase that we could bring in to put connectivity, IPv6 connectivity to communities, which is critical connectivity at times when it's so most needed. And so, again, it's about dollars and volunteer hours of our team members, but more importantly, about bringing that technology to provide critical connectivity when people are displaced and they need it most. We used to find in times of refugee crisis, we learned this after Ukraine and Syria, that folks would ask folks for food, water, shelter. We know now one of the first things they ask for is Wi-Fi. I've got to reach my family. I've got to connect to my bank account. I've got to connect to resources like WCK. And so we know that connectivity is critical, and we can bring our technology to bear to provide that.
In Bahamas, after Dorian, every island we went, the most fascinating part, I'm talking day one, Bahamas system is down. The thing that people were requesting the most, can you please record a video? And when you go back to civilization, can you post a video so our families will know that nothing has happened to any one of us in this island? You see, when this is one of the requests that people ask you, please let my loved ones to know we are okay. When you are able to very quickly start deploying what Brian said here, that's when you see why systems like what Cisco can bring to emergency are so important, gives hope to people. Brings reassurances to people that their loved ones are okay. And this is super important in emergency.
And then, Chef, also, I know it's around your teams communicate a lot with WhatsApp and other messaging resources. And so that connectivity helps you do that critical coordination, right?
Obviously, we can wait 8 or 9 hours or 10 hours when the people on the initial people that we make the contact with the communities affected, if we bring satellites with us, but if we are able to be connected in between all of us. But in the old days, if you had to wait 10 hours to go back to headquarters to download the data, you are already missing very important information. because the people in headquarters ordering the food, how bad is this? Are we going to have to feed 1,000 people, 10,000 people, or 100,000 people? Quicker we are able to be providing that data, quicker the teams that they stay behind, that they are trying to prepare a large scale response, can be activating the right resources to make sure that every day counts, every hour counts, every minute counts. This is what this kind of technology will provide to organizations like ours.
Absolutely. And I have a question about well-being, because at Cisco, I know we are very in tune with well-being. It comes from leadership and it trickles down. I wonder, for you and your team, when you're experiencing these disasters and you're seeing everything that's happening to people, how they're affected, how do you maintain well-being within your team so people can still do the work they do?
We're a young organization, but I think every day more and more and more has been very important and at the core of World Central Kitchen. And used to happen using the old days that will be organizations on the ground that they will do exactly that and they will randomly join us. Now World Central Kitchen more and more is doing this, but we need to understand that emergencies are hard.
Yeah, for sure.
And even people that are hard and prepared for everything, obviously they may be affected. But obviously only people that are emotionally very strong can sometimes be part of the horrors you see when you go to certain areas. But that's why it's very important to take breaks, to take the right vacation in between one and another activation, and obviously having the mental health experts that can help everyone in the team to put your mind at ease. But I think the best is knowing that you are doing something to improve the lives of others. And I think sometimes this is the best medicine in many ways. To go home to sleep knowing still is a lot of people suffering, but every day we are reaching more people. And before we know, we may be able to reach everyone. This kind of urge of do better, of reach people quicker, is very much at the core of making sure that everybody is not worried and upset, but actually empowered to know our actions matter. And every minute that we can have a quicker response matters. That's why at the end, it's a win-win when we take care of the situation, because it also helps that the mental health of everybody, not only the members of World Central Kitchen and other humanitarian organizations that need help, but everyone that is suffering, whether when you see that these organizations next to the people after an earthquake, after a hurricane, I have a feeling that the entire community feels better about the future. If nobody shows up, those communities very quickly can fall into this repair. That's why it's so important to be quick and fast to tell them, we see you, we care, we're going to give you dignity, we're going to take care of you. You are not going to be walking alone in these very dark hours.
Yeah, love that. I know we're short on time, so I actually am going to full circle and wrap up with food, because why not? That's what we got to do. And because of that, anyone watching this podcast, not only do we have a world-renowned chef and humanitarian, we also have an author on our hands. So your book, Spain My Way, Eat, Drink, and Cook Like a Spaniard.
New York Times bestseller.
New York Times bestseller. I mean, did we have to even say it?
Hello?
New York Times bestseller. So I would love to just hear a little bit about the inspiration behind this book. And then I had a question, if there's something that didn't make it into the book that you now wish you had put in.
Can I just say before you do that,
do,
that we just finished a stage here at Cisco Live with a fireside chat, and we gave away 100 copies of that book.
No kidding.
And people were so excited to have one of the first copies of that book. Yeah.
So, in this book is a lot of stories of my childhood. And one recipe is the croquetas. My mom used to make them. Very leftover food put into a bechamel that she will roll in breadcrumbs and fry. Oh my God, this for me was food for the heavens. In a way, sometimes in emergencies, we end serving dishes like that.
Right.
Everybody always says that World Central Kitchen seems always to be doing foods that locals love, that we could cook local for the locals, and they praise us for us. And me, I'm always kind of amazed, because I tell them, actually, it's the most practical way. If you are in Haiti, you're going to be having the best team members are Haitian cooks. And what Haitian cooks know what to cook? Haitian food.
Yes.
And what the people wants to eat?
The Haitian food.
So for us, it's just pure pragmatism that when we go somewhere, we end cooking the food that the locals want. When we were in Valencia, in Spain, was a very big flooding, hundreds of lives lost, thousands of homes lost, tens of thousands of cars destroyed, and very major flooding. What we were cooking the day after, in the destruction of all in the heart of Valencia, paella. Why?
Oh.
Because the local cooks knew how to cook it.
La paella.
The local people is what they love. So you have to be also very pragmatic that in emergencies, the way to give hope, dignity to people, yes, is why not. Not doing only the food, the good food, like what this book celebrates in the good times, but in the hard times, doing exactly the same, because it's about bringing people this kind of notion, things are going to be okay. Just be patient. We're here. Together, we're going to get to that point of hope.
I love that. I wish you were here for another half a day because there got to be about 20 kitchens within walking distance.
Oh,
We would
yeah.
just commission you to cook something. I actually bookmarked something that I heal in here, the shrimp, the garlic shrimp.
Oh my God,
I-
we talk about that.
We did.
Garlic
We
is shrimp.
did. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to cook that when I
We
go.
all want
so-
paella now.
I hope you're not the guy that orders garlic and shrimp without garlic and the shrimp. I had one guest one day. Can I get them without the garlic and the shrimp? I'm like, what else you think is in this dish?
That's like chile con carne without carne. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that does it. Yeah,
That's
no, we're
hilarious.
not doing that. Well, listen, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. I know it was a quick chat, but I had a great time talking with you. Really appreciate your time, and I hope we get to do this again soon with a little more time.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot,
very much,
AB.
my friend.
We appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and that's a wrap.